I'm going to make this part using a MakerBot clone, a dual extrusion machine, although we're only going to use one extruder today. I'm using nylon bridge material. Um, so we'll put that there, get the top view, get orthographic. The place that my plate changes a little bit over time where it sticks the best, and it's I like it sticking right about here right now, and so we're going to make that. I have a custom profile for nylon bridge here, and we're going to export it to a file here so we can take a look at it, and we're going to preview it before we look at it here. Here's the part in Makerware. The reason why we want to look at this is we have to turn the machine off or pause the machine later when we're at the top of the nut, so we can put the nut in there and then let it continue on. So we're looking for the layer at the top of the nut, and there it is right there. So it's layer 59 is the last layer, layer 60 is the first layer on top of that. And let's export it to a file and show you how that's going to work. Here's the G code it produced, and what Makerware does, instead of calling them layers, it calls them chunks. And we're looking not for chunk 59 because it starts with 0. So chunk 0 is layer 1. So we want to go to the end of chunk 60, which is going to be chunk 61 is what we want to find here. So there's chunk 61. This is the end of layer 60. This is the beginning of layer 61, and we want to set our Z value between those two. So we're going to pick 12.5, and that's when we'll tell our MakerBot to pause, and we'll insert our nut. Back in Makerware here, and we're going to make it from a file now because we saved that file just so we could find the Z value. And we're going to make it, and I'll switch to the camera. Now I'm waiting for the MakerBot to preheat here, and after it preheats and starts going, I can show you how to pause at a particular Z value. And then as it reaches temperature here, it will start to move. And there goes the bed. And as the bed goes up and gets started, alright, so now it's printing its raft here. And now we can do this pause thing while we're doing it. So what we want to do is we go over here and pause at a Z position. The little caret's on the pause at Z position. My display is messed up, so you can't quite see that. But now it wants to know. So right now it's at 0.3 millimeters, and you can see here I push up down to set it. So I'm going to turn it here. It takes a few seconds. We're going to get it to 12.5. So here we are at 12.5, and now it says M to set, middle button to set, and I do that. And then now, my 3D printer's making funny sounds, but it just happens to be the speed it's at. And we'll watch that for a little while. We're coming up on the pause height here. There it is. And so now it's going to come down. And when it gets down there, I'm just going to reach in there and and put the nut in there. And that all looks good. And then on the machine here, I'll hit the left button and the up button a few times to unpause. And now it's reheating. Alright, so the part is now done. Let's take a look at it. Just reach in there and peel it off there. Oh, stuck good to the build plate this time. So it just peeled off the raft there, and that's good. And so so that looks pretty good. Let's take that out to the shop and put some blades in there and see how that looks. Look at the bench here. We've got our part and our blades. So I'm going to harden the blades here. These blades are this D2 Aristocrat makes it. D2 air hardening steel. I bought it from McMaster Car. And they say to get it up to 1800 degrees per and then leave it for an hour per inch. So I'm going to blast it with my propane torch for a few seconds and then hit it with this freeze spray and call that hardening. So I got my propane torch here and I'm just going to blast it. And I think we'll just estimate our temperature based on the color. And as it starts to get orange there, I'm going to call that maybe 1,000 degrees or so. Turn up my propane a little bit. Trying to get it at the right distance in the propane so it gets as hot as possible there, or hopefully up to 1800 degrees. You can see my pliers are sucking some of the heat out of the corner there, but I think the edges I'm going to use should be good enough. I'm going to use this edge here that's on the front right now and try and use that. So we'll just heat up that edge the most. Give it a little bit. I'm going to call that good enough. Turn that down a little bit. And then I'm going to blast it with my there's just a little foam on the end to spread out the freeze spray there. And that is now frozen. Woo, still hot. Ain't gonna be hot for long with that on there. That freeze spray goes down to minus 65 Fahrenheit, they say. All right. So I'll do that 6 times. Or 5 more. Now that we have those and they're getting quenched, whew, that one's cold. Let's see if we can get them in here. Let's see. I think it goes like, ooh, his pliers are still warm. This edge looks okay. We're gonna go with it, I think, this way. No, it doesn't go that way. It goes like this. That one goes there. We can give it a little tap. Get him in there a little better. There he goes. So they fit in there. We can get him in there a little deeper. There, now it's set in there. Okay. So then we'll grab another one. This one will go this way. And this one will go this way. I think that's it. So let's see here, test. Oh, we gotta go in a little. This one here is sticking out a little bit. We gotta get him in a little further. All right. There we go. Okay, so that one looks good. That one looks good. They all look like they're making good contact. All right, so here's the first test. I guess it's already kind of clean, but we'll get our drill here. We'll take off our good reamer tool. This reamer tool works really nice. We saw that earlier. We'll just get this one off of here. Our 3/8 24 nut is going to come in handy there. And let's see here, if I stick that on there. So that's pretty good. I think I got a reamer tool. I think we're going to go with it.